Hi, my name is Caroline. I've been a thrust flight student here since October 2022. Currently, I'm working on my CFII. And today I'm going to talk about a little bit about what got me into aviation. So I come from a family of aviators. My grandfather was a pilot on my dad's side. My grandmother on my mom's side was a flight attendant. My dad is a pilot and I was a flight attendant. So really just 3 generations spanning of flying here. So I was pretty much destined to fall into this at some point, and here we are. So I started with Delta Airlines as a flight attendant right out of college. I literally started 2 days after I graduated from college in May 2018. I was 21 years old. I just wanted to see the world. I wasn't ready to give up my flying benefits yet, and I thought aviation would be a pretty good fit for me. You know, I studied communications and hospitality and tourism management at Virginia Tech, so flight attendant was pretty much right up my alley. I'd never really given much thought to being a pilot. I always figured you had to be really good at math and science, and I was just better at reading, writing, public speaking, so I just figured pilot's not for me. I'll just be a flight attendant. And I loved it. Probably about 6 months into being a flight attendant, I got more and more curious about what was happening on the other side of the door. We'd get to go into the flight deck from time to time during flight, and I found myself asking more questions, wanting to look at the views, and just becoming more and more curious about it. Until finally in August 2019, when I was living in Salt Lake City and based out of Salt Lake City, I booked a discovery flight and knew that was pretty much it. I was ready. I just needed to try and get my life sorted out a little bit more. And in fall 2021, I took the leap and started really taking lessons. I'd saved some money up and I was ready to just start flying on my off days. That was really difficult, not gonna lie, to try and be a flight attendant and a student at the same time. You know, I was a line holding flight attendant, which means I wasn't on reserve. I knew what I was doing, but weather, delays, cancellations. So there were more times than not that I had to cancel my training flights the next day because my Delta life was kind of getting in the way. So I made the decision in December 2021 to resign from my position at Delta and dedicate myself full-time to flying, and I have not regretted it since. So I started going almost every single day at my school in Georgia, where I'm from, until I got my private license in April of 2022. And then in summer 2022, my husband and I found out we were moving to the Dallas area, which brought me here to Thrust. So while he was in some interviews, I went and toured a couple of schools, and pretty much right off the bat, when I toured Thrust, I knew my search was pretty much over. I instantly just felt comfortable with everybody here. Everybody was so friendly. The planes were brand new, meticulously maintained, and the instructors, everybody was saying hi to me when I was just, walking around touring. Everybody was very, very kind and very, very welcoming, and I knew that Thrust had a really good reputation. So once my husband and I were confirmed that we were moving to the Dallas area, I reached back out to Thrust and said, "What's next? I'm ready to go." And started in October 2022. Now I'm working on my CFII, and it's really been a good ride so far. One of the things that really drew me to Thrust was seeing that they had a lot of airline partnerships, which is exactly where I want to go back to. I loved working for the airlines, I loved the lifestyle, and I loved the opportunities that it gave me, and seeing that Thrust had partnered with so many airlines was a really big, encouraging step to continue on with Thrust, knowing that they've already got such a good reputation with these companies. And that's exactly where I want to go. I want to get to the regionals, and then I want to get back mainline, just like my dad and my grandfather, and formerly me as a flight attendant, and really finalize that I made it to the other side of the door, and now went from flight attendant to pilot, and Thrust helped me along the way. That wraps up my story as to why I wanted to become a pilot and my journey on how I got here. If you're interested in becoming a pilot and want to learn more about Thrust Flight and what we can do for you, check out the description below.